Happy Christmas, Evelyn. I hope you like our story. Countdown to Christmas. We're counting down to Christmas, cheered a very jolly bear. He called a meeting in the woods, and everyone was there. Come gather round, called Bear. Be quick, his voice boomed deep and loud. Mouse grabbed her scarf and mittens, she ran to join the crowd. I've made a Christmas game, said Bear. It ends with a surprise. I'll call a name out every day to go and find a prize. Me first, begged Mouse. Oh, please choose me. No, me, cried everyone. But Bear smiled at young Hedgehog and he said, you're number one. When Hedgehog found her special prize, she rolled head over heels. Oh, look, a toy, she squealed with joy. A lovely cowl on wheels. But next day Toad got number two and found a pair of ears. Mouse laughed, you're like a donkey now. Toad huffed and muttered, cheers. Raccoon had number three and cried, I've got a candy cane. When Frog and Chipmunk found the same, they cheered, yay, sweets again. But Badger grumbled, what's this? Confusion in his eyes. Mouse smiled and squealed, a tea towel. Well, that's quite a useful prize. The Squirrel found a pair of wings, and Weasel got the same. Now I've got wings as well, sneered Rat. Bah! What a silly game. Some creature started moaning then. These prizes aren't that great. But Bear has a surprise for us, squealed Mouse. We need to wait. The next day there were paper chains, then baubles and some lights. Mouse jumped with joy, they'll brighten up these long dark winter nights. But then the 13th day arrived, and Beaver got some straw. That's not a prize, she sniffed, and then she threw it on the floor. Mouse called, there'll be a reason, please, we must believe in Bear. But Beaver simply stomped away and mumbled, it's not there. Then in the morning, Mouse woke up and coughed and sneezed. Achoo! Oh no, I'll have to stay in bed. I think I've caught the flu. She didn't see Mole find a crown, nor skunk, nor porcupine. The animals agreed these gifts were really rather fine. For 2 more days Mouse felt quite ill. She huddled in her shawl. But what if Bear forgets my turn? He might, I'm rather small. But while she fretted, Bunny found a basket like a bed. Then Mrs. Bear cried, oh, a scarf, and wrapped it round her head. At last Mouse poked her nose outside. Perhaps it's my turn now. But number 19 went to Owl. I've got some lanterns, wow. The next day Bear chose Deer, who found a holly wreath, hooray. Then Fox Cubs 1, 2, 3 found hats and scampered off to play. When finally the last day came, Mouse hoped with all her might. It surely must be my turn now. There's only 1 more night. Mouse sat and waited all day long as footsteps passed her house. She sobbed, they've all forgotten me. But then a voice called Mouse. She crept out of her burrow. The moon was glowing bright. A beaming Bear said merrily, it's Christmas Eve tonight. He handed Mouse a wrapped up box. Just open this and see. Then Mouse pulled out a shiny star. Bear smiled, now come with me. He led Mouse through the frosty trees, a twinkle in his eyes. Your friends have not forgotten you, he said, here's my surprise. We've made our own nativity with gifts for everyone. Your shining star's the final touch. It's time for Christmas fun. Santa's new reindeer. 1 week to go till Christmas Day. The final touches underway. A ribbon here, a flourish there, and presents piled up everywhere. Santa smiled. What could go wrong? He didn't have to wait too long. Out of the sky, a whirling blur of antlers, legs, and soft brown fur came crashing through the workshop roof. And that's how Rudolph sprained his hoof. Poor Santa was in quite a tizzy. I said those tricks would make him dizzy. The reindeer vets did what she could, but shook her head, it was no good. The sleigh team ran some reindeer sums. They counted fingers, toes and thumbs. With 7 reindeer and not 8, they'd be too slow and get there late. We can't just cancel Christmas Day, the elves all chorused in dismay. They called their contacts everywhere. The last one had a reindeer spare. They thought that they'd had a stroke of luck until his antlers came unstuck. Santa cried, that loop-the-loop really has put us in the poop. The elves didn't waste time on despair. We'll get that sleigh up in the air. Which animal can take his place? A cheetah runs a decent pace. Too fast, thought Rudolph nervously, especially if she wants some tea. Hares were fast but rather small. The harnesses didn't fit at all. A zebra was the perfect size, but the stripes stand out in the dark night skies. The ostrich tried but couldn't fly. The moose looked right but felt too shy. They found a horse, 4 legs and hooves, but he kept jumping all the roofs. The elves called farms, park rangers too, till there was nothing left to do. We've let poor Santa down, they cried. There must be one we haven't tried. In all the din they didn't hear their head inventor reappear. As you can see, our elf friend Lizzie, as usual, has been rather busy. My robot looks the part and flies, and doesn't even swipe mince pies. The elves and Santa danced a jig as Lizzie hitched him to the rig. And so that Rudolph wasn't sad, she handed him the control pad. He practised flying day and night, till finally he got it right. To celebrate on Christmas Day, the reindeer all got extra hay. Then Santa treated everyone safari camping in the sun. Now if a reindeer bumps their head and has to spend the night in bed, a robot takes their place and flies. Now where are all those warm mince pies? Forgotten how to read.